How to handle inbound leads as a mid-market business. A practical guide to supercharge your sales team with AI workflows. You are a decision maker at a mid-market business with 8 to 9 figure annual revenue, and you are responsible for revenue and team capacity. The problem you are facing is a large volume of inbound leads, including many low-fit requests. Your team capacity is not sufficient to qualify them quickly, and your goal is to improve lead response time. You suspect that a mix of people and AI can be the solution, but you're wondering how exactly to do it, because you know the failure statistics. 60% of AI investments result in failure. Clearly, a structured process is needed. Identifying your exact use case, structuring and maintaining company information, whitelisting which actions the system is allowed to take, implementing policies for human escalation, defining which logs and metrics to keep. It's quite a project, and I don't want to convince you to adopt AI. Quite the opposite. The most important thing in any business is avoiding the use of bad AI systems. So let's start with one anti-pattern that I cannot recommend: the AI receptionist. That is a phone software that talks to your leads fully autonomously without human supervision. These systems are received overwhelmingly negative. 95% of voice AI users report frustrations. Common complaints are a robotic voice, misunderstandings, and the need to repeat yourself several times. Users feel trapped in the conversation with an AI robot because they are not being forwarded to a human operator for difficult scenarios, so they finally hang up in frustration. We don't recommend systems like that. If you provide a highly time-critical service, stick with real human beings on the phone. But if your product or service is less time-critical, you have to ask yourself, why would leads even call you? In 2026, the majority of consumers prefer texting over calling. In order to find a solution to your lead qualification problem, make sure to first gain an understanding which asynchronous channels your users actually want to use to communicate with you. Then we can build a structured workflow to perform the lead qualification according to your unique process and get back to the user on the same channel. Easier said than done. Here are 4 typical failure points for asynchronous systems that you should be aware of. Operational risk. If the workflow lacks access to the right systems like scheduling, CRM, or order management, it might hallucinate a confirmation for the lead without recording anything. Policy risk. If the workflow does not know how to source up-to-date information about your pricing and policies, it might invent refunds that do not exist. There have been legal cases in Canada and Germany that confirm the liability for these statements. Trust risk. If the workflow sounds artificial in its choice of words and grammar, or repeatedly fails to provide the right information, it might lead to frustration. Luckily, it is much easier for the workflow to be accurate in the asynchronous setting because we have more time to understand the user intent and compute the appropriate response compared to voice AI. Security risk. If the workflow has access to privileged data of multiple users and the AI can decide by itself which information to reveal, then a breach of data is likely. So how can you avoid these issues? When selecting a partner to build the AI workflow for you, you should ask them about the architecture. On the left side, you can see a simplistic version with one agent that is unlikely to work well. The AI will not reliably give accurate information. It cannot access your systems to schedule calls with leads, and you are also experiencing vendor lock-in. On the right side, you can see a structured multi-agent workflow that uses your exact qualification process in the planning and execution phase and updates the information in your CRM safely. It respects your wording and brand voice in the drafting phase, and it scores the entire request, response, and actions taken according to your risk policy so that human escalation can be triggered. To ensure the CRM and style guide is up to date, the human operator can continuously provide feedback. To get started, you need to first identify which text-based inbound channels are applicable to your situation. Then you can define what company knowledge the system needs access to and which actions it can take by itself. For example, ordering a sample or scheduling a call with the sales team. Then you can define your escalation policies to ensure edge cases are always handled by real human beings. We can help you with the entire process, from problem analysis over planning to implementation and long-term operation. To get started, read the guide AI Workflows for Mid-Sized Businesses.